Welcome to this kickoff of our crew birthday apps. So we will make an app that shows all our crewbies' birthdays, and it starts with a welcome screen that just has the title of the app and this button with a clear label that would make it easy for the user to know what they're expected to do. They click go, and this displays a neat little screen of all of our crewbies' birthdays, and that's what the app does. And it builds on three core computer science concepts. The first concept is the concept of an object, which we'll talk about in this video, and that is modeling a real-world object with a computer science object, right? So the second computer science principle we'll work with is an event handler, and that is what makes that button take us to the next screen. So an event handler allows the user to take action that is reflected in the state of the app. And the third thing is a for loop. And a for loop allows us to take advantage of the fact that the computer can repeat itself very quickly and precisely. And so it'll save us a lot of repetitious work, and it'll spin through a little chunk of code multiple times and save us from repeating ourselves. So let's start with just a brand new app. So we will go in App Lab, we just hit create App Lab, and we'll get a complete greenfield project. There's nothing here, no code, no screens. And we'll start by creating that object I talked about. And an object is a variable. So the first thing is to declare a variable. And we do that by using the keyword var, and then we give it a name. And we can name it almost anything we want. This is an object that will describe a crewbie. So we'll use the name crewbie, and then we'll assign it a value. We'll say it equals, and using these curly brackets indicates that this variable is an object. So it's a type of variable called an object. And between those two curly brackets, we will type name value pairs. So property value pairs. And so the first property is called name, and then we put a colon, and then we put the value of that property. So let's make this first crewbie Julian. And to add another property value pair, we put a comma, and then let's add another property called birthday, and the value of that will be Julian's birthday, which is September 15th, 2020. And then notice this comma is key. To add another property value pair, we have to add a comma, and then let's put Julian's favorite. Let's do color first, which is blue, and then comma and favorite food, which is, let's say it's Cool Ranch Doritos. So an object, you can see, models a real world object. This is a person, and the person has a name and a birthday and a favorite color and a favorite food, and we've captured that in this collection of property value pairs. And which again, the key is this property is like a variable, no quotation marks, and then a colon, and then the value. And so there we go. We have an object, a crewbie object. And to access the values in this crewbie object, we use what's called dot notation. And so let's test it out, and we'll do console.log, which is what we always do to test things. Simple way to see if we're doing what we think we're doing. And to access information in the crewbie object, we type the name of the object, which is crewbie, and then dot, and then the property that we want to access the value of. So this will get us, we'll log to the console the value Julian, and it does. And so you can see it's crewbie is the name of the object, dot, and then name is the property. And when we use that notation, it accesses the value associated with the property name. So if we wanted to get the value associated with the property birthday, we would just, instead of crewbie.name, we would just do crewbie.birthday, and that will log to the console September 16th, 2020. So it gets the name of the object, dot property will get that value. Important to know. Okay, so now we don't want to just model one crewbie. We want a list of crewbies. So let's create another variable called crewbies, plural, and we will make this a list. And a list in JavaScript is called an array, and it's indicated by these square brackets. So anything we put between these two square brackets is in our list. And let's just copy our object, not the name, but let's just copy the object between these two curly brackets And I'm going to do Command X to remove it from here and Command V to put it in our array. And I want to clean up this because we don't need it anymore. So now we've taken that Kruby object and we've stuck it into a list, an array. And let's just neaten up this indentation to show very clearly that all these properties and values are inside of this object. And this object is just the first thing in the list. Right now it's the only thing in the list, but let's copy it with Command C, and we'll put a comma, and then we'll paste it with Command V. So now we have two things in our list. They're the same. So let's change the values. So we have Esther, and Esther's birthday is December 8th, and her favorite color is green, and her favorite food is chocolate cream pie. So let's just change this to chocolate cream pie. So her favorite food is chocolate cream pie. And let's add one more object to our array, to our list. And so we will just copy the Julian object. And this is another Kruby, Manuela, and her birthday is March 8th, 2021. And her favorite color is red, and her favorite food are mangoes. We'll save the OS there, and mangoes. So now notice we have a model, and we have another description of a real world situation. We have our crew. And so this is made up of a list of Krubies that notice they all have the same properties: name, birthday, color, food, name, birthday, color, food. So the properties are not the same, but the values have changed for each object. So we have 3 different objects, and notice each object is separated in the array from another object by the comma. Okay, last thing is we should show you now how to get information out of this array. So to get information out of an array, so we'll test it by doing console.log. We want to give the name of the array, and the key thing for an array is which item in the list. The first item is index 0, the second item is index 1, and the third item is index 2. So if I want the first item in the list, I have to give the name of the array, which is Krubies, 0 to indicate index 0, which is the first item in the list, and then the property. So this Kruby0.name will now get me Julian. And if I wanted to get Esther, Esther is the second Kruby in the array, so she's at index 1. And let's get the name Esther. So we get that, and we get Esther. And of course, if we wanted to get Manuela, the Manuela object is at index 2. So we'd have to do Kruby's index2.name. And this time, let's say we want to access her favorite food, which is mangoes. So we would run it like that. So notice the notation has changed, because now instead of just getting properties from an object, we are getting an object from a list, an object from the array, the first item in the array, and then a property from that first item in the array. So it's a little bit different, but that's how it's done. All right, we'll pick up next time and show you how to put this on the screen. Thank you.